Hey, we're live. It's an interesting thing to be live when we're doing one on the channel here, the way that I have this ran. So, gonna see if people start showing up, how this goes, and do some update videos, things of that nature, and just kind of go from there. So, we'll play it by ear and see who shows up and where the conversation takes off. So let's first see if I can figure out how they do that on here. So let's go edit. Nope, that's not what I want. We're going to see. Huh, interesting. So, yeah, we'll just hang out here for a little bit to see who all tunes in. If anybody else tunes in that wants to have a conversation about what we're doing with the channel, where I intend to go with it, and things of that nature, and kind of just talk through where we think we should be headed next with the way we do things on the channel here. Yeah, gosh, look at that. A little flyaway right there. I don't even see that during the day. We're all human, right? So, what we had been doing is more of a constant update to the things that allow this to happen, to make it easier to do what we do with this channel. Cameras, audio, a little bit of all those things. And in doing so, I found a lot of things that work great and a lot of things that I found that worked good, that then I've switched out because I found things that worked better. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, one of the things we are doing, and I'm going to see if this even does this when I do this. Oh my gosh, it does. So we are live, and it's being ran through the RGB Link Mini Edge. So if we start to do more of like top down through the conversations that we're having, we can switch over and have a chat. And you just let me know. I'll let you kind of guide this experience, if you will, and see just some of the things that I'm using, the things that I do. So with the OBSBot that I've got, we're using the OBSBot Tail 2, and that's the main camera you had just seen. Now, that being said, the camera you're seeing right now is not the OBSBot. The camera view you're seeing right now is the Sony ZV E10. Great camera. And part of me is kind of mad that I didn't get that camera. So years ago, I ended up picking up, when they first came out. Honestly, I bought it before it came out. Was the A7 III, and the A7 III, just it spoke to me in so many different ways for what it could do, and the quality of photo and the functionality. It seemed to check all the boxes. And then it wasn't until I started diving into doing this, right, that I realized the screen on the back of this makes me angry, like ragey angry, because I can only actuate the screen up and down like so, right? Or out a little bit and then, tilt it. And it's on this huge arm, right? That you see there, that's not the easiest to just, flip out and use. I mean, it's fairly fragile. I mean, when it comes down to it. Now, the newer versions and many other brands, you can flip this thing out, you flip it around backwards and then close it, or you can flip it out to the side and leave it open, right? And have it tilted to the side. So like if I'm holding a camera in a way that I love to shoot photos of things low, so I get the long shot, I'll hold the camera, you know, vertical on a tilt, so vertical on its side to get the tall, more portrait style photo framed up instead of a landscape angle like you have when it's flat. So landscape, portrait, but I like to be able to look down with it being held in front of me at my side and see the image. And with the A7 III, it's not a thing. Like I can't do that, and it makes me a little ragey because I don't like Canon and I don't like Nikon, and the Fuji I like is way too expensive. But here we are, right? Now, some things just to talk about while we wait to see if anybody else tunes into this. Um, are when we get the channel up and going, there's going to be a lot of different segments and like offshoots of the channel. So we will have where I do product reviews, we'll have where I do some artwork where you see this view here, and you'll see me working the art piece. And then I will kind of crowdsource some information, continue the art piece, and then say, like, where should we take it from here? And then through the comment section, we will then change things or add to things until it becomes the final work that you, the viewer, had a hand in helping. So then we may even, if that takes off, may reopen the Etsy page. So I had an Etsy page years ago, and when Etsy went um, public, then instead of private, then, or maybe that was reverse, I don't remember. But it got bought out, right? It got taken over, and it's not been the same. Fees went way up, and a lot of things happened that just I felt weren't great for the artists. Now, the same things kinda happened with eBay, and I've grown to be okay with it and adjusted dramatically in how I feel and how you can potentially still be profitable, I guess, when you do things like that. But it hasn't been something I've put in effect. So the items that if you need stuff, man, check out my eBay page because there's a lot of things I'll buy for the purpose of this channel and then not keep because I find one that I like better, so then I buy that. Like different cameras. Heck, I got a Hero 3 that probably needs to go so I can get one of the new DJI 5 actions or Action 5s. And the reason for that is the longer continuous run, battery life that I just can't get out of a GoPro or here, that version, or even the Insta360 Go 3S. Like, love that little camera. The way it works, it magnetizes to a shirt, to a hat, whatever you got, but it just doesn't fill the niche of how long it can run, which drives me crazy. I want it to be able to run for as long as I need it, right? I don't want it to just shut off and say, "Oh, I shut this camera off, and what do I do now? I don't have a battery," right? Now, I have 2 extra batteries for the GoPro, but do I wanna stop mid-cycle and change batteries and then pick up the ride after? I mean, the answer is no. That's really all there is to it. The answer is no. Now, things aside from cameras that have really, I feel, made this channel kind of what it is so far is, you got to have everything be right. So in this case, I started off with the Sateki keyboard, and this is the slim keyboard. It's Bluetooth. Um, It's USB-C charging. If you tap the button, I just brought up a different screen. Didn't mean to do that. If if I bring this up, it does backlight it, which is really nice because if I'm working when it's darker, then I can see what I'm working on, and having, eye issues, it's not hard to see. Now, if I was doing more of a typing scenario where I wanted to feel that tactile feel, hear the click, clickety click, this this works so much better for that. It's like it picks that up. It is, if I turned on here, it is RGB, like instead of just backlit, which is super cool, especially for the idea of a video. So I feel anyway. But then I had the niche between the two is I like the the RGB background, and I like the slim line of the Sateki. So I ended up going and getting another keyboard. So I've got all three different kind of heights variations for what they'd be used for. And now I've got it hasn't arrived yet, but the um, Horus, it's called the Horus Red Dragon K618. Super excited to get that. Um, I really like the idea, in fact, that it is a full RGB adjustable 22 millimeter rise. It's still ultra thin, has that mechanical touch, but it's great for gaming with all the different presets and hotkeys that you can set up. So, very excited for that. When it comes to mouse pads, I don't know if everybody's tried a trackpad. And if you don't have an Apple, maybe you're less likely to have tried one. But the Magic Trackpad from Apple, hands down, made me feel like I was stepping out of the Stone Age with how smooth and effective this works. I don't know why my camera keeps breathing like that. Um, versus a mouse. After just one use in store of adjusting the trackpad to the setting for how, like, if I was using it on screen and then I, like throw my finger to get it to go. The feeling of the trackpad versus the mouse is so, so insanely better that I instantly knew I had to switch. And the fact that I can, click and then scroll versus like scroll, move the whole mouse, click, is awesome. I don't have to have the mouse moving all over the screen, doing its thing, and then having, more space on my desk to move the mouse to do those things. Whereas now I can just do it, right? I can just grab that and go. The pieces that I have yet to really figure out for what I'm trying to do would be, we're trying to make sure that when we hook into these programs, this, you know like YouTube and Twitch and Kick, that we're providing content that you want to watch. So that's why we're going live like this. We'll do this probably a dozen more times, and make sure that we're crowdsourcing information to see which part of it appeals to you, and then maybe we'll even do like a, let's spin the wheel and see where tonight's live stream goes, and take it from there, right? And then we'll be adding green screen to make it do kind of a walkthrough of some of the photography. So like I can go out and do some photo shoots, we can do bike rides, we can do some disc golf, and then show it to you, not real time, but still fairly real time. But do up to date videos that allow you to kind of step into it via the green screen. So I'll be down, like in the corner of the screen over here, and say like, okay, if you watch this next part, this is where I hit the tree with the disc and totally lost my score. We're gonna do a lot of stuff with that. I do have one thing that I'd picked up that I think we're gonna kind of test because I'm curious. We got this medical scale. I say medical scale, but I mean it's a scale, right? So if you know anything about disc golf, they have weights on the discs. Like, and by weights, I don't mean they're attaching weights. The discs are weighed and marked, and those weights that the what they're marked at allows you to know, like, hey, is this one going to throw easy for me? Is it going to throw hard for me? Like, do I like a heavyweight? Do I like a lightweight? And then go from there. So, like, if I stick, let's see if it lets me see this. If I was to put one of the discs on the scale in this case, like, and I don't know why it doesn't show on camera. That's crazy. It's like it shields it. So this says 63 grams. Oh, there it shows up when it goes black. That's wild. I don't know why green doesn't show up on there. Maybe it's because it's kind of set up as like a green screen. I don't know. That's so crazy because like the black's totally gone. Let me know if you see it because when it goes away, so 63 grams, and then it shuts off. Come on. That's not going to do it now. There it goes. 63. Cool. Versus like my Basis power bank, 231 grams. That's wild. It's thick in the pocket. That's for sure. That is for sure. But yeah, we're gonna weigh some of the discs. I'm curious in some cases how accurate they are when they say, "Oh, this disc weighs XYZ," or "This disc weighs this much." So, and they're marked. Are they going to be accurate for? Why is that going to 5? There we go. Okay, cool. I don't know why that's jumping like that. Let's see if I can bring that back. Is it because I touched it? Surely not. It's like if I tilted it, it even changes. Let's see if I can show that there. Go back to 0, bud. 0 out. No, not off. 0 out. Okay, so it's zeroed back out. I must have hit the button. Yeah, so you can switch it from ounces to grams to, does it do pounds? I don't know. There's pounds and ounces. Oh, cool. Let's leave it on that. I like that. So if it goes pounds and ounces, 2.20 ounces. This is going to be like a pound, I bet. Really? Not quite a pound. 8.10 ounces. I'm just going to weigh the wallet versus that. I'm going to see. So 14.40. I mean, how much stuff I got to put on here to hit a pound? Like, that's seriously not a pound yet? That's wild. That just feels like so much heavier than what if you told me like, does this weigh a pound? I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, certainly. But it doesn't. Well, that's kind of the gist of it. We want to break the channel, like I say, into separate segments that'll hopefully be more enjoyable than just watching short reels. And hopefully people actually tune in for more than just short reels. The short reels will continue to come, but that's about the length of the attention span of my daughter with wanting to do YouTube, even though she wants to do YouTube. So when we do those videos, it's because she has a moment that she wants to do something, and then we'll jump on, do the quick, candy review. It's usually something she sees at the store and says, "Dad, we got to try this," and then away we go. So I know it seemed like a little bit of rambling, but if you stayed tuned, awesome. I hope you stick around, come back, all that jazz, and then we'll see you soon.